Tangents are strong today.
Real.
Topic of the week: we're talking about our third-party E3 predictions. Is what we're doing. We're skipping Nintendo because Nintendo said they're not going to be there, so fuck them.
Yeah.
Basically, moving straight on.
And they don't like streamers or YouTubers, so fuck them.
Pretty much.
Fuck them.
Yes. So I'll just go over what we're doing for our E3 coverage before we get started. So, some of you who've listened over the last few weeks will know we've been building up to E3 with predictions. We've done predictions for Sony, we've done predictions for Microsoft, and we can do some predictions for third parties today. And then, as some of you will probably know, our schedule is going to be a bit wonky. It's been a bit wonky the last couple of weeks, and it's going to be wonky until basically we're clear of E3. It's going to be a bit all over the place. But there's no podcast next Sunday. There will probably be one uploaded in audio format at some point between then and the following weekend. There will be an episode at some point, and it'll just be me and Martin sat in a room with a mic talking, basically.
Talking shit. So not much different, except we won't have a guest.
This is true, and there won't be Nerd List, obviously. But that's going to be weird because when I call you a dick, you could literally hit me because you will be in physical range of doing so.
And I literally will. So listen for that.
Listen for the thud.
The audible slap.
And then the thud. And then me calling to sue, calling up the law firms to sue. Be great. But yeah, so
you will be able to listen to the disillusion of the bonusXP podcast.
so yeah, that's that'll happen. So that won't be streamed live on Twitch. That'll just be the audio podcast for that episode. But then when we get to E3, we're going to be doing lots of episodes, basically. Again, they'll be streamed on Twitch. And we'll get them up on SoundCloud and such. We'll do reactions to the Sony conference and Microsoft conference, the EA one, like all of the main ones. We'll for the ones that are favourable to our time zone, we'll go live as soon as the conferences end, and we'll just break down what's happened, compare our predictions to what actually happened. Like we'll say how we thought they did, all that kind of thing, and then at the end, after all of the conferences, we'll do like a wrap up episode where we sort of give out awards, I guess, or we say what our favourite games were and who had the best showing and all that kind of stuff. So that's it. Like we've got a lot of episodes. Around the E3 time, and fingers crossed this time next year we'll be going. Never know. We'll do a show live from E3. We'll have our own conference.
We'll be the biggest, most professional podcast on the internet. So.
Yes, we will. We already are. It's just people don't realise. This is the difference.
Yeah. We're already the best. It's just people haven't caught up to it yet.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a shit ton of episodes around then. So if you look at your feed on whatever podcast app you're using, there's going to be episode pretty much daily around that sort of time. So yeah, today we are doing the third party conferences. So we are covering E3, EA, Activision, Ubisoft, and Bethesda. So we'll start with EA.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so shall we go round all of our realistic picks and then we'll go round our fantasy picks, shall we?
Yep.
Yeah, so Andy, do you want to kick us off with what you're expecting to see from EA?
Well, I think it's already been announced, but Mirror's Edge 2 I'm kind of interested in seeing. See stuff on that.
Will that actually be out by the time E3 comes along? It comes out in June, don't it?
Let's have a look. What's its actual release date?
Mirror's Edge Catalyst is the full title.
Catalyst release date, June 7th.
Yeah, so it'll actually be out before the conference. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it in like a sizzle reel or something. Because often games when things like when Last of Us came out, it came out just before E3 and they still showed it.
Sizzle reel.
Yeah.
They're letting people know that it's out now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I expect to see Mirror's Edge there.
They might turn around and do. We've just released Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Here's the first paid DLC you can expect.
We had already finished it, but we thought rather than putting it in the game, we'll just cut it off and sell it to you. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we had to talk about something at E3.
We could expect a lot, alongside our next Minions tablet game that gets another 10 minutes of airtime.
Oh God, don't remind me.
It's fucking endless run and Minions game. Yeah, it's totally worthy of being on an E3 stage.
Yeah. Anyway,
Other obvious ones from E3.
Yeah.
Battlefield 1, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1, isn't it?
Yes.
Expecting to see some of that.
Yeah, I'd like to see some proper gameplay for that.
Yeah, definitely gameplay.
I'd like to see a good 15 minutes of them starting the game up and actually playing it, kind of thing.
I want to see boy playing dogfights.
I want to see someone wiring up their plane and then someone coming up behind them and shanking them with a bayonet and stealing it after doing the 10-minute wind up.
Yeah, we need that. We need, for authenticity, you must wind up the plane first and then get shot in the head and someone steals it. That's the way it's going to work.
Or if you missed a shot in the head, the 10-minute reload of the gun. But yeah, I'd like to add a caveat to that. I also expect them to announce that they've got exclusive content for Xbox One. Because obviously COD's doing exclusive content for PS3, or not to say it's exclusive, but early. So
that's a shocker. COD's doing exclusive content for PS3. Really?
Are they?
That's what you just said.
Didn't they say they weren't doing PS3 this year? Like, at all?
No, it's PS4, mate.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, didn't they say, is it this year? They said they're just not doing it on PS3 at all?
Probably not. Probably not. I was just pointing out that you made a cock up. Don't worry.
Most professional podcast. Shut your face. Yeah, there'll probably be a beta exclusive to Xbox. But all this kind of stuff.
Wasn't there something announced about EA's early access that everybody's getting that free
on Xbox One around E3? Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
There's gonna be. Well, I think there's gonna be possibly Titanfall 2. Or are we moving into fantasy on that one? I'm fully expecting there to be.
I thought Titanfall was Activision.
No, it's not. I've got it on EA Access. It is EA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
EA.
We had it on Origins when it came out, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's EA.
Origins,
yeah, because they offered it on Origin for free once it started doing shit, didn't they?
Yeah. That's pretty much a dead cert, that, isn't it? We'll see.
Yeah. The other dead cert that'll be there is all the EA Sports bullshit.
What?
Yeah.
They won't show FIFA. You're a madman.
No, not at all. There won't be a huge trailer of sweaty men in NBA.
But not actually showing any gameplay. It's all just really weird pre-rendered footage.
Just look at how beautiful we can make these men sweat. I'm sure there's just some guy at EA sitting in his Y-fronts just making men sweat all day, every day.
Authenticity.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they're going to get some very old and haggard sports star who hasn't been relevant for about 20 years to come on stage and talk about what it means to be a professional?
I hope they don't do the Pele moment again. That
was funny.
Really awkward. It was so awkward because he didn't want to talk about the game at all, did he?
Nope.
Do you not reckon they might pull up like Eric Cantona? Because
he's too cool. He's too cool to do something like that.
If it's authentic Eric Cantona, he's got to go into the crowd and punch someone. So that might be interesting.
Do you reckon he's run out of advertisement money yet for like beer?
I doubt it. Oh.
But yeah, you do realise that because we're doing E3 coverage, if they do something like that, you've still got to sit through it.
Yeah.
So that's something to look forward to, innit? I fucking hope they don't.
There might be a chance of some kind of rock band news, I thought, because I know they did that Kickstarter for PC and it failed abysmally. But I won't hold my breath, but there might be an announcement to do with Rock Band in some way.
You reckon?
Yeah, because all the other it hasn't done as well as they thought it would. Like they were thinking that this with that and Guitar Hero Live, the industry kind of thought it was the second coming of these sort of games, and they've both sort of flopped. And I think they need to try and do something to make this investment not a waste of time, because I don't think a lot of people bought the 2 new games. Really,
just me, I think.
Yeah,
I bought both.
I would have bought.
Yeah, it was you. You were that person.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy the new Rock Band really badly, but the cost of getting all that fucking peripheral shit to make it worth it, I just couldn't justify over £100 for plastic guitars and a microphone.
This is it. They overcharge on the peripherals.
Yeah.
If they made the barrier to entry considerably less, I think people would be up for it, because they are a lot of fun. They've always been fun.
I think the reason people paid for those in the past was because Rocksmith wasn't a thing. Like, I think nowadays most people look at those games and go, why should I pay this amount of money for a plastic fake guitar when I can just pay the same amount of money for a second-hand proper guitar, hook it into my PC or whatever, and play actual guitar?
You say it's a thing, but every time I've mentioned Rocksmith to someone, I've had to explain what it is. They'll know what Guitar Hero is or Rock Band is, like, right off the bat, but Rocksmith, that takes some explaining, apparently.
But then Ubisoft have never done much to promote that game, have they, to be perfect?
This is true.
No.
Like, whereas Guitar Hero, you see it in arcades and stuff. It's literally everywhere. South Park did an episode on it. Like, it's literally everywhere. Everyone knows of it. Whereas Ubisoft, gamers know about it, I guess, and like gaming musicians. But
their core audience of that Rock Band and Guitar Hero are geared towards, the core people who like music games will have heard of Rocksmith if they haven't already got it.
To be honest, I have Rocksmith and I have Rock Band and Guitar Hero. Like, they have their own place. Like, Rocksmith I love because I can play my actual guitar and play game, but then I enjoy playing the plastic guitar and plastic drums and that.
Because you enjoy owning everybody else at it.
Yes, it may have something to do with the fact I'm actually good at those games. That might have something to do with it.
Yeah, the fact that you pretty much 100% everything kind of gives
Helps.
you a bit of an ego boost, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially I need that after playing Total Water Day. Jesus.
Yeah, you just look like a floundering fish earlier.
I won all my battles, but everyone seemed to... It was very much a Game of Thrones Sons of the Harpy thing going on. I think it was a bit depressing.
Yes. Anyway,
other predictions, Andy? Got any more?
I also heard there might be like a Mass Effect Andromeda there.
That's in mine as well. Gameplay and maybe a release date, like a firm release date.
How did I forget about that?
Because you're not a Mass Effect fan.
Oh, fuck.
Not a true Mass Effect fan.
Oh, fuck off.
You're one of these like pretentious hipsters who say Andromeda, that it is cool.
Andromeda, I can't like. I am. I can't even speak about it, because if they do anything to fuck it up, which EA has a tendency to do once a series goes on too long, I will riot. I will actually riot. I will burn EA to the ground.
You're going to chain yourself outside their offices until they patch it?
No, not until even patching it. You fucked it up from the start. That's it. You die, basically.
Okay.
I will burn the place to the ground and piss on their corpses. That's just how it's going to happen.
Something to look forward to.
That escalated a bit.
But no, Andromeda, I can't wait. And there's so many things I want them to do with it that. And I think that's the problem with most Mass Effect fans, is that they're not going to be able to please everyone, because there's so many things they could do with it. They're not going to hit every base.
Yeah.
And if they try and hit every base, they're going to spread the game too thin. So
yeah, it's going to fall short somewhere if they try that.
We'll see. As long as if they put cameos in of old characters, it makes sense in the game world. Like, I don't want anything shoehorned into it. I want it to feel like its own game. And if there's cameos, there's got to be a reason for it.
It's not like, oh, look, here's Garrus. Remember him? He was cool, weren't he? Remember him?
Screw Garrus if they do it. Screw Garrus if they do a cameo, it has to be Rex. I'm sorry, it has to be. Rex is the best character, hands down. And anyone who got him killed should be strung up, basically.
Well, because the game's supposed to come out early next year, it's about time we saw gameplay. Because it's got to be getting... It must be like at least 70% through their dev cycle at this point.
Yeah, they've teased us for too long.
It's time. I'd even say they might open with it. It might be like a, opens it out into like the map world, and like
the galaxy map.
Yeah, and then we get like 15 minutes of that. Start us off with the show.
Yeah,
I'd like
that would be good.
So, you guys got any other realistic picks? I've got one more. I don't know if it.
I haven't got anything for EA.
Because I put sports titles as one of mine, which is pretty much the whole EA conference. So
my only other one is I think we'll get a teaser trail for Battlefront 2. Not like a gameplay, it's like a sizzle trailer, like what we got for the original Andromeda trailer.
Yeah, like a little. Oh, look, there's a lightsaber. This is a thing.
Yeah, I see that because like I think that comes out next year, didn't they say? Like we know they're working on it, so I think we'll get a little bit of a sizzle for the only other realistic one I've got. Move on to the fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Andy.
Okay, my fantasy pick for EA is that they will announce that they're going to get their shit together and stop releasing...
Living in a dream world, mate.
This is why it's fantasy.
Yeah, they will get their shit together.
And they'll stop bringing out games where they'll just have day one problems with online stuff and it'll just work and it'll be fine. And they'll say, oh, we're banning all microtransactions from games. And then EA will be... And they're just going to make themselves into better people. Either that or Skate 4, please.
Either that or Skate 4. I love it.
Skate 4 was in my fantasy list.
Skate 4's in mine as well.
Needs to have offline multiplayer, for fuck's sake.
Yes.
Where like we can't, when Andy comes round, we can't play Skate 3 because Skate 3 doesn't have offline multiplayer, even though Skate 2 did. What the fuck? Get your shit together. Skate 4 offline multiplayer as well as online. Don't change the gameplay too much. Keep it as it is. Keep it difficult so that when you land tricks, there's the gratification of actually doing something. So when you do like a cool grind into like a kickflip and you land it, it's a reward, not like Tony Hawk, which Tony Hawk has its place, but like not like Tony Hawk where you can just mash loads of buttons and put some ridiculous combo and
I also, it needs, if it ever becomes a thing, it needs offline multiplayer, just and online multiplayer, to be honest, just so that you can be doing a nice combo and landing all the sick tricks, and then I can just ram into you from the side and fuck you up. Basically,
honestly,
that's what I want.
Honestly,
you just be waiting for that one moment.
Yeah.
Honestly, my favourite thing.
He's about to land and then kick my skateboard under his and fuck him up. That's what I want.
That's my favourite thing in Skate 2. One of the multiplayer maps is like this small like bowl, and there's a dumpster in like a little like cutaway by the side of it.
This is
like my
hacks.
favourite thing
This
to
is
do
hacks.
is to get off my skateboard and then drag the
move.
dumpster out into the middle
Into
of
the
the bowl to
do
fuck up his last
He'll do
run.
this really decent run, and then at the end of it, he'll just pull this like dumpster out into the middle, and then it's my turn, and I'm like, "Well, you're a dick."
Yeah.
Because then you can either spend half of your run putting it back, or you can somehow
you
try
have
and
to
work your
skate
way
around
around it, and you might accidentally faceplant into it. It's fucking brilliant.
Basically, as we're hearing, Lim cheats at every game. I've always said this.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's in my fantasy as well. I would love Escape 4. And I don't like them games sold well. I don't know why we haven't seen one yet. I really don't.
It's because it's EA, and for those games to be as good as they are, they take effort. And I think EA's forgot what
is
effort
this?
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and care, and actually wanting to produce a decent product.
Which is why we're not getting any of our fantasy picks for games.
Yeah, exactly. And being to jump onto that, and this goes in with that comment. My fantasy pick is that I want a proper career in FIFA. A proper career, not this shit that they keep trolling out. Because pretty much every other sports game, like, I know you're not big on sports games, Lim, unless you get to punch people in the face in them. But every other sports game, even UFC, has some kind of proper career. Like, there's outside of the sport moments that affect the game. Like in UFC, you had the training mats are being cleaned, so you can't train in this area this week. Something like that.
Yeah.
FIFA has never put anything in like that. Like,
it's putting loads of microtransactions to get players randomly.
The pitch is being mowed this week.
Well, no, it's the best way I can explain it is there's a Facebook game that does the career of a footballer better than FIFA does, because you have whole things in it where, like, your teammates will ask you to come out for a drink, or one of your teammates will say, no, we should stay back and train some more. So you can get the social aspect and be more connected with your team by going out for a drink, but you've lost training, so you're not.
Want the strategy element more?
Yeah,
You want the option to go for a drink?
Best game.
If it's a career mode where you're supposed to be focused on playing one person on a team, I want the focus of the life of a footballer. So obviously not the
banging
bits
hookers,
not the bits that get put in the papers all the time.
shagging teammates' wives. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. But like even like that's what I like in sports games. Like even some of the F1 racing games had things where after the race you'd have to do an interview with the press and answer questions to see, and that affected how your team thought about you and things like that. It's adding that extra element that makes you feel like I'm not just playing a game of this sport, I am participating in this sport, if you know what I mean. It just makes it more involved.
Wouldn't you be more inclined to play a game like Football Manager then?
No, because I don't like looking at spreadsheets.
So what you kind of want is a combination too. You want Football Manager, but you want to play the games as opposed to watching them.
Yeah, see, like Football Manager is the perfect simulation of being the manager of a football team. I want the experience of, again, you're going to make the shagging other people's wives joke, but being the player on a team and the pressures of that and how you have to like balance your agent and balance. It's weird to describe. Like other games have done it. Lots of other games have done it. NHL had a game a couple of years ago where they had it in the after the match you would have like a rating of how well you sync with the rest of your team, and after the game it'd be things like people would say, oh, I need a lift home, or I've lost my house and need somewhere to crash, can you give me a place to crash for a few nights or whatever, and depending on how you answered it would change how well you sync with your team, which in the game would then, when you called for them to pass it to you, would affect whether they'd pass it to you, whether they'd pass it to you well, and things like that, which really happens in football. If people are pissed off at each other on the team, they won't pass it to each other. Like, you've seen that happen. Like, how many people you said John Terry sleeping with other people's teammates. They then wouldn't put them on the team together because they hated each other. It makes it more realistic.
So you say post-match interview, you want like a Mass Effect style wheel, like conversation wheel, where you can choose a Paragon or a Renegade option.
Pretty much, because other sports games do it already. NBA does it. NHL did it. For some reason, they dropped it. But NBA, not the recent one, but the NBA 15. Go if anybody doesn't quite understand what I'm getting at, go and watch anybody's playthrough of NBA 15 My Player, and the amount of story that's in there outside of the games makes it so much more invested, makes you so much more wanting to do well in the game. So
my name is Martin Footballer. and this is my favourite stadium.
Yeah, this is my favourite stadium on the Citadel. Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously the renegade option in an interview is to just punch the reporter.
Yeah,
Obviously.
so basically, renegade
Yes.
option would be being Eric Cantona, as I mentioned before.
Then diving constantly and saying, that blade of grass is very long. I'm going to fall over that for no reason.
Yeah. But that's what I want. If they're going to put... I like the Ultimate Team mode and you just playing games and grinding through a season. But if they're going to put a mode in where the whole focus is you are this one person, will make me feel like an actual footballer. So go for it. Like, make me have the choice to go and get fucked up at a party one night and miss a game and get shouted at by my manager if I want to. Like, it makes the level of investment in being a footballer. Like, the whole mode is designed around you are living the life of a footballer. So do the outside of the football matches part as well.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
Where were we? That went on for a while.
It does, because I've been waiting for it for fucking years and they're the only fucking sports game that don't do it.
It did sound like you needed to let that anger out.
Yeah, that was pent up in there.
Right. Shall we move on? Any more fantasy picks from either of you two before I do my ones?
No, go for it. I think.
Right. I want a new Fight Night, please. Can I have that? I like the idea of what they did with Fight Night Champion of having a story, like a Rocky style story. Go with that, but make it less shit. What else? I would like a new SSX, please. A proper one, like SSX Tricky 2, not this fucking race the mountain, be the mountain. Crap.
Be the mountain.
Well, it was, weren't it? Like, be the mountain, be one with the mountain. All
I
this
think they
bollocks.
got a hickey on their dev team at some point.
Yeah, that was a load of bollocks. SSX Tricky, that one. I'd like another one of that. Or just give me an HD remake of that, that'll do. Burnout, I wouldn't mind a new Burnout. That'd be nice. Burnout Paradise 2, that'd be pretty cool. Can you just bring back your actually really good franchises?
Yeah, can you not keep...
And not just sequels
same
of the shit
shit.
ones. Don't bother with
Yeah.
Battlefront 2 because that's going to be a pile of wank like the first one. Give us a new skate. Give us a new... Make sure there's no be a footballer mode in FIFA and we're all good.
Fuck off.
I kind of want them to never do that now, just because that'll just frustrate you more and more and more. Yeah.
Well, just to announce they'll never do it.
Yes.
Well, you should hope that they do it now, because if they don't, the first podcast we do after the EA conference, I am gonna rant. If it's or not after the EA conference, after the game's released and I've got it and played it, if it's not in it, I'm gonna rant again. So.
Right, so shall we move on to Activision?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, Activision next. So realistic picks.
Can I start this because I've worded it perfectly?
Go on.
It's gonna be a Call of Duty wank fest. Pretty much.
That is a realistic assumption.
Yeah, but will we just hear the fapping or actually see it?
There will be fapping all over the place. Everyone will be fapping. It will just be the devs getting on stage going, "We've made another Call of Duty. Give us money," whilst fapping. That will be it.
How are they going to show how infinite it is? That's the question.
They're going to fap in an infinite loop symbol. They're going to be stood in a figure of 8 fapping at each other for eternity. Yeah.
So
that was essentially my
gameplay.
realistic pick as
Oh,
well.
Yes,
Just,
that's not even like a guess. It's obvious, and I reckon. I reckon like maybe sort of 15 minutes of gameplay. Maybe if they don't go in and talk about the underwater like AI mechanics of the fish this time would be a good idea.
They're gonna jizz themselves over the fact that we've got space battles now.
We're Halo, but not called Halo because we're called Call of Duty.
Who the hell asked you to put space battles in COD? Like, where did that come from, you fucking idiots?
If they want to make a game like that, why not make another game that's not called Call of Duty?
Yeah, make a new IP.
What's that game where you're out in space, but it's like a really, really shit FPS? Destiny. Destiny. Why don't you turn Destiny into that kind of game?
I like what you did there. Well done.
Yeah. Why don't you turn
Oh,
Destiny
no.
into that?
I didn't even see that coming. That was very well done.
Smooth as silk.
Oh.
And that is how you segue.
Yes. But yeah, that's actually one of my realistic picks. Destiny 2 teaser trailer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
there will be.
if Destiny is a thing, so why the fuck make Call of Duty Destiny?
I don't know if there will be a Destiny 2 teaser trailer, considering Destiny 2 has recently been delayed.
Has it?
Yeah, it's been delayed till next year, and what they're doing instead is they're giving us another update for Destiny 1. Which the thing is, they're even admitting that they ripped the original Destiny to pieces because they're saying this new update will include missions and things that were in the original story. So they're putting back in stuff they took out originally. So
Welcome to
anyway,
Activision, boys and girls.
Yeah, Destiny 2 has been delayed till next year, I believe.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we wouldn't get a teaser for it.
No, but there was more likelihood when it was supposed to be coming out later this year. They might they're more likely now to show teaser stuff if they're doing a Destiny thing for the new expansion for the current one.
So we'll definitely see Destiny in some capacity, but
in some form, yeah.
I'll just go in my other one. I'm expecting to see some Skylanders of some capacity. I think with Disney Infinity falling out of the race as such, I think they might sort of maybe go hard on Skylanders. They've sort of lost one of their main competitors, haven't they? So
just that little push of just saying, look, guys, we're still here. We're around. We'll fill that need.
And they'll completely ignore that Spyro's a thing.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But I expect to see Skylanders, so. Any others from you guys on realistic picks for Activision?
I wouldn't be surprised, considering Activision have a long history of doing like Marvel-based stuff, of them doing some kind of Avengers or Marvel-based game.
£5 says that it's going to be a tablet game, free to play.
Yeah, but they will be trying to cash in on this big thing of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If they don't, they're idiots. Basically.
Black Panther game should happen, so I can be a Catman. That's what should happen. Black Panther game, along the line of X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Lim confirmed as a furry. There we go.
I never said I wasn't in the first place. Any others?
No.
No.
No? On the fantasy ones then?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to go for the ultimate fancy?
Yeah,
Activision. COD 4 Remaster sold separate at launch.
Oh, that is the dream, isn't it?
So they'll just announce that.
Yeah. So they'll come on and say, we fucked up. We're going to sell it separately from the start. So those of you who just want COD 4 HD Remaster Remake,
I'll just drop that bomb after they've done talking about Infinite.
And they're going to say all of the maps are on there apart from Wetwork. The dream.
Fuck off.
I like your fantasy is to annoy Martin.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Just to make me salty. That's it.
But if all of the maps were in apart from Wetwork, would you buy it? If all of the other ones were in, just not that one.
It would really piss me off, but yes, I would. Because Wetwork is my favourite map, which is why he's saying it, but COD 4 was just that good. I could deal with it.
It was really good.
If, honestly, I know it's a fantasy and it's never going to happen, but if they announced that, basically seeing the backlash and said, no, we're doing it this way now, Activision would win E3 completely.
There's no shame in having humility and just saying, we didn't realise you wanted it this much.
It would be like Xbox doing their 180 with all the stuff with the Xbox One.
They gained a lot of respect for it, didn't they? So
yeah. So if they did it, I reckon they would win E3. Everyone would lose their minds. So I would. I'm not going to hold my bloody breath for it, but it would be nice.
So you guys, I've got one other one, but do you want to do some of your ones?
Go on, you, Albert.
I really don't have any kind of hope for Activision. I
No?
don't dream about them.
You've
Do you not
lost-
hope?
you've-
Do they? Is your hope not that we give up? We're not making Skylanders anymore. Lego Dimensions is the only Toys to Life game now. You may have the monopoly.
I don't need that fantasy.
You just like sitting in the shadows, waiting patiently.
He's just drumming his fingers together like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, waiting
Waiting for them to fuck themselves.
Excellent.
Okay, well I'll do one of mine then.
Yeah.
I want a new prototype game.
Yes.
I loved the prototype games.
Yes, that would be
And-
cool.
And I'm sorry, but the whole idea of exploding tentacles and claws and that from my body and ripping people in half, that was very cathartic to me. I enjoyed that. That was a good
They were
anger
great.
release game.
Like some of them abilities were fucking cool. Just being able to like
Oh.
rip tanks in half and stuff.
Mm.
God, yes. I completely
No, I
forgot
didn't-
prototype was a thing. Didn't they do like HD
Yeah.
remasters of 1 and 2 recently on
Something like that, I think.
or PC
But
maybe?
I do have a caveat for that fantasy thing.
Um,
If you're gonna do it, don't put one of the best transformations of the game at the very end. Like, I seem to remember that one of the best things, I think Infamous did this as well, Infamous Second Son, that one of the best powers and best transformations they leave till the last boss fight, and then they're like, oh, there you go, you can use it to clear up all the side missions. It's like, no, fuck off. Give me that earlier in the game so that I can rip the bosses apart with it. It's fun. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure Infamous Second Son did it with the rock powers. Did you play Infamous Second Son?
I'm a huge Infamous fan. Because obviously you weren't here for the Sony episode, but that was one of my fantasy picks. Is Infamous
agree.
Vita game.
I'd like just another Infamous game in general. But it was the second one where the very end you got like the rock ability and you could roll about like a big bouldery bastard, couldn't you?
I thought Neon was the best personally.
Neon was fun. I did like setting things on fire a lot though. So I stuck with the smoke and fire powers quite a lot.
That game
no,
in general
they-
was cool, to be fair.
Yeah, both those games, because Infamous and Prototype came out at about the same time, didn't they? The first games of those series. I enjoyed both of them a lot. And the other thing I liked about Prototype that I haven't seen many games do was the whole mystery side of it. The way, like, when you took over somebody else's body, you got their memories and could find out the story that way.
Yeah.
It was really cool concept. So I'd love to see another one of them.
Yeah, I think the big problem with that game is that the first one came out at the same time of Infamous, so it had like this duel with it, and Infamous won in terms of like
Infamous
sales and
won.
stuff. But then Prototype was a fantastic game. If they just brought it out at a different, I think that game would be of the same, size as Infamous.
I think also because they come out at the same time, but I think Infamous had more media behind it. It had more marketing, so
Sony exclusive.
Everybody kind of looked at Prototype and was like, "Oh, that's an Infamous ripoff." But they came out at the
So
same
different,
time.
though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Just because you have cool powers doesn't mean they're the same game.
no,
I mean, Prototype had a lot more variety, if anything.
yeah,
Huge amount of variety and abilities.
mm.
It's basically just permanent God mode. That's essentially what that game was.
Yeah, because if you ever run low on health, you just grabbed the nearest innocent bystander and assimilated them into your body to heal yourself. It was fucking brutal. You just ripped them in half and soaked them into your body and was like, oh, I'm back to full health. Now back to destroying tanks.
Well then.
Yeah.
Yes. So you got any other fancy picks?
Yeah. I was a big fan of the old Aliens versus Predator games.
Is that not Sega?
No, Activision did Aliens versus Predator, my friend.
Oh,
They did some Aliens versus Predators anyway.
I know, because I know Sega did some of them. I'm pretty
Sega
sure they
did a
published
couple.
Alien Isolation, didn't they?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna double check this.
I can't remember who's currently got the IP rights for it. It might be right. It might be Activision. Because that's the thing with some of these franchises, like the ownership of the IP jumps all over the place. So obviously, Creative Assembly made Alien Isolation, but I think it was published by. I'm second guessing myself now.
Right, they made the Alien versus Predator game for the SNES in 1993. So no, they probably don't have the rights to it.
We'll just
anymore.
presume
Sorry,
they
that's
do.
fine.
Go on.
Presume they do. Whichever person owns it, I would like to see a new Aliens versus Predator game.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
sorry, I pissed that one up. But yeah, I would like that because it was fun being a face hugger and grabbing someone unawares and then bursting out of their chest. It was just fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, did you play the one
You
that was
sneaky
on?
face, okay.
Did you play the
It was a
PS3 360 one?
No, it was a PC game I played. It was.
I mean, the more recent Alien versus Predator game.
Is that one where it's just like a ballerina and you're either human or alien or predator?
Yeah, there's 3 different campaigns.
Yeah, they did. That's what they did in the because I played Aliens versus Predator 2, which was on the PC, and there was 3 different campaigns in that. And like I said, I spent most of my time in the Alien campaign because it was so much fun. But I think I might have pissed about with the console one, but not actually owned it. It might have been a rental from our beloved lost friend Blockbuster. So yeah, but I love those games, and I just thought I'd
wrong
bring it up
developer,
then.
wrong
It's not-
publisher, but I completely agree.
Mm,
Being out Players Predator again would be pretty sweet.
mm.
Any others?
I really should have had another. Now that one wasn't Activision, but
Most professional podcast.
yeah, so good, right here.
And you know how I put in the opening paragraph of the intro, ill-informed ramblings.
Yeah,
Do you see where I got the ill-informed bit from?
Yay! I made you almost prophetic. Well done.
Yeah, there's a reason I said these words.
Anyway,
Any others?
No.
Right, so I got one other one for Activision. I'd like a good Tony Hawk's game. Going on from Skate 4. I love Tony Hawk's as well. I would like a good one.
That is serious fantasy there, mate.
Yeah, I'd like one where you sort of press X to get going and then you don't just disappear through the floor.
Yeah,
That'd be really fucking cool, that would. That'd be really cool. And one where you go to a grind and you don't get stuck on the rail or something like this.
How long has it been since there's been a good Tony Hawk's game?
Well,
Like,
it depends
when-
which ones. Like the last one I considered to be good was Underground 2, because I know you enjoyed that Project 8 or whatever, but it didn't do nothing for me.
I believe the last at least passable Tony Hawk's game was the one before the Peripherals. So
Yeah,
it was
so
either Project 8 or
like
American
8 years
Wasteland.
ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the last properly good one was Underground 2.
That was really good, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, at least 10 years. So I mean, because well, I presume we're not counting the HD remake,
No,
because that's just re-releasing the
an
Old
old
one.
game.
Yeah.
We need a new one.
So I would like let's just pretend Tony Hawk's 5 doesn't exist and
It doesn't.
redo Tony Hawk's
Tony Hawk
5.
what?
We'll do Tony Hawk's 5 again.
Yeah, we'll give you a do-over, Activision. Get it right this time.
Yeah, pretty much.
You get a do-over.
Or we'll pick up a skateboard and slap you with it.
I mean, Doom is called
Everybody
Doom,
gets
even
one.
though there's already a Doom.
Yeah.
So why don't we just call it Tony Hawk's 5, even though there is a Tony Hawk's 5? You know what I mean?
They
Like, there's
symbols.
other games that do this, that they take the name of another. Tomb Raider came out, even though there's already a Tomb Raider game. So
I honestly,
know.
I honestly would have a lot of respect for them if they completely acknowledged that Tony Hawk's 5 was a pile of shit and released a new one and called it Tony Hawk's 5.5. As in, like, we know that was shit. This is what it was supposed to be like.
We've made it better.
Yeah.
it is Activision.
Mm. So that's why it's fantasy picks.
Yes. Yes. Do you notice most of our fancy picks are just publisher, get your shit together?
Yeah. Pretty much. But if they had their shit together, we wouldn't have to say it, would we? So,
It wouldn't have to be in fantasy.
yeah.
Right, so Ubisoft.
Yes.
Ubisoft.
Okay, so Andy.
Okay, obvious one. That's obvious. South Park. The Fractured
Oh.
Butthole.
Fractured
Gameplay.
Butthole.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Can't wait. Cannot wait.
Is
Just a little hint.
Is Ubisoft conference that normally has that the
Aisha
lady?
Tyler.
Yeah. I will be honest. Ubisoft's conference, because of her, is the highlight of my E3 every year.
Really?
She's so funny. I love her. I think she's awesome.
I think it's a bit forced. Like she is great as Lana on Archer. Don't get me wrong. She is fucking awesome as Lana on Archer. But it always seems a bit.
You say
forced.
she's forced, but I'll be honest. I've seen her on other things like Will Wheaton's Tabletop. I've seen her on that, and that's just how she is. Like, she's just a really over the top person, and I think it makes their conference more interesting than other conferences. That it's not just some boring bastard in a suit.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, South Park, please.
South Park.
Yes. God, that first game is so fucking good. I like how they sort of referenced themselves in like flaws in that first trailer as well.
Yeah.
We're gonna actually have proper gameplay this time and all this. So I love that.
Yeah. Well, they said that at the announcement last E3, didn't they? They were like, "We're definitely not gonna have. We will make a decent combat system. We promise." Basically.
Yeah. Next one.
That's it for my obvious ones.
Okay.
I've got two obvious ones.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing more about For Honor. Do you remember that? From
Yeah, with Vikings and that.
Yeah, which is basically chivalry, but
Third person, isn't it?
ramped up. So
Third person chivalry, basically.
Yeah, and it was one of the things at last year's E3 that made my jaw drop. That I was like, "Oh, that looks so cool." So I want to see more on that.
I completely. And on the side note, I would like to see. I know it's not Ubisoft, but I'd like to see some gameplay of the new Chivalry game. I'm hoping they're going to be at E3 in a booth, and we can get a bit of gameplay of that. The Arcane Warfare.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I'd really. Yeah. I've emailed the devs and that. I've tried to get in for the stuff. So. Oh, that game. But yes, For Honor. For Honor looks really cool. That's not just Vikings, is it? There's other factions as well, I think.
Yeah, it's Knights, Vikings. It's basically taking the biggest badasses of history and putting them against each other.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, there was another game that sort of did that in a sort of sort of like a Tekken thing.
Are we thinking of the same thing?
Yeah, the game we used to play on 360. Fuck.
Was that
Deadliest Warrior?
Deadliest Warrior.
Yes.
That was a really good game. I like that.
Horrendously underrated. That was. That was fucking
especially
awesome.
as it was based off of a
Series,
Discovery Channel show, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's
I
up on
love
Netflix.
Deadliest Warrior. Yeah.
That's really cool. Because the idea is you have a sword. If you hit someone, their arm's probably gonna fall off because it's a sword.
They will bleed a lot.
Yeah, it's not like Soul Calibur where you fucking cleave like a Zweihander at someone's head and then they just shrug it off. Like,
yeah. Ow, you gave me a boo-boo. How dare you?
Oh, I fucking love Deadliest Warrior. Like, it was, it had its
Eats
problems
into their
and that,
fatigue as well, into their stamina.
Yeah, it had its flaws.
It was really good.
I'd love to see another one of them.
Yeah.
Won't ever happen, but yeah. Tangent.
Yeah.
Others?
My both fantasy, so.
Okay, so I think we'll get a teaser for Assassin's Creed. I know it's not getting one this year, but I'm sure we'll see something of the reboot.
That was in my fantasy.
What, that you want to see Assassin's Creed?
It was kind of fantasy, more predicting rather than obvious things.
So it was a bit of both.
Fair enough.
Yeah, kind of.
Out clear rules and you screw them up.
I don't follow your rules.
Just because you're the king of the nerd list doesn't mean you can just throw your weight around like that.
You can't just do what you want out there, alright?
I will, yeah.
Look at this.
I'm
thinking he's fucking entitled. Look at this.
We'll get some shots of pyramids. That's about what we'll get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking they might do like show a bit of the Assassin's Creed movie, and then kind of
Please
link
no.
it in with a new Assassin's Creed.
Please no.
Probably, yeah.
Please.
They might even get what's his name who's playing the
Michael Fassbender.
Fassbender. They might even get Fassbender there.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, for the film, only 30% of it is going to be set within the Animus. 70% of it's modern day.
Okay,
Only
so
30% of it is set in
They're
ancient.
doing with the film the problem that they did with overlooking at Desmond in the games. Okay, fine.
Got no
It
hopes
was
for that
probably
film anymore
cheaper
after
to
I read
make it
that.
like that.
Yeah, but I don't care. I don't.
Yes.
Prince of Persia, although a shit film, that was all set in ancient times. Like, it's not impossible to fucking do it. So don't palm
is
me off
true.
with that shit. Like, bastards.
Are we moving on to fantasy? Because that's quite a good segue.
No, I've got one more
Fuck you.
realistic one, just because I want.
Segue.
I could just skip it because it's a boring one, but I do want to ruin your segue.
Go
Go
on.
for it.
Division DLC, like the first big
Yeah.
pack of Division DLC, we'll see that.
Right, we've said that. Moving on. I would
Too
like
late,
to
your
see-
segue's ruined.
I don't care. I would like to see a new decent Prince of Persia game.
Yes, that would be
Honestly.
cool. Like Sands of
Because
Time 2 or something.
The original Prince of Persia was fantastic.
Well, the original one was like a platformer one. It wasn't like the original one.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the first 3D one then. Smart.
That was Sands of Time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Because you could stab people and suck sand out of them and then turn back time.
Yes.
Well,
That was a lot of fun. It was actually clever in the way it did its mobility around areas. So that's what I'd like to see again.
Would be good. Especially like all current gen graphics, all pretty and shiny.
Yep.
I'd like that go back to Egypt or something.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Other fantasy picks?
Go on, Albert.
okay. My fancy pick would be, you know how they did a trailer a while back for Beyond Good and Evil 2? I would like them to please
Actually do it?
Yes, please.
That is like that's a Half-Life 3 level fantasy. That
I
is
know.
though, isn't it?
I know.
Beyond Good
I
and
can
Evil 2
dream,
is
damn it.
not coming ever.
But
It better be.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 will be mentioned a hell of a lot because the Twitch coverage of E3 is normally, I don't know if he's doing it this year, he probably is, but is normally covered by DJ Wheat, and he is one of those. He basically sat through the whole of the last E3 going, I want them to do Good and Evil 2. They've got to do Good and Evil 2. And that's all he said pretty much for the whole E3. So he'll probably do that again.
It's not going to happen. It's the same as like Psychonauts 2, although that actually is happening now. But like Half-Life 3, it's one of them games where it's like the hardcore gaming community drum it up a lot, but not that many people would actually buy it. Like not that many people bought Beyond Good and Evil 2. And to gauge, like they wanted to gauge the waters on interest on the second one, so they did an HD re-release of the original. And not many people bought it. So as much as people think they want it, it's just a very, very vocal minority.
And the other thing as well is that it's the Half-Life 3 problem as well, is that it's so hyped now that people have been asking for it, that if they did release it, everyone would be disappointed because it wouldn't be the best game ever. So... yeah.
And hate to spoil it, but Half-Life 2 was not a particularly good game. So I've got no shame in saying that was not a great game. Loads of physics puzzles which were boring as fuck, not particularly fun gunplay. You can't aim down your sights. Fuck off.
But you're playing a scientist, so you would want to do physics puzzles.
Yeah, greatest game
Oh, he's all brave
yeah.
when he's sat behind his mic.
I'd say that to your face. I've said that to your face before, that's a shit game. I have no shame in saying it. I fucking hate it. Never.
Right.
Portal, phenomenal games. But Half-Life, no. Just no. Bad games.
I would like to claim that my next one is the ultimate fantasy pick of It's Never Gonna Happen.
Go on then.
Right.
Oh, that's going to be the same one I've got in it.
Yep, it's
Yeah,
going to
go
be that Ubisoft go the whole conference without showing a game that could be put under the moniker Ubisoft the game. That they do a game where you don't have to find towers, to unlock the map where you don't have a slow progression, like something that isn't Watch Dogs or Far Cry or Assassin's Creed or something
Or the
like
Crew, or the Division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, that they do something new and different. That's all I want them to do as a fantasy pick. Just do something
Assassin's
different.
Creed.
You lazy fucks.
Every single Ubisoft game has some kind of watchtower or something that you have to hack into or climb, unlock a new section of the map, which will then give you a bunch of small side missions, which give you very small and slow increment of upgrades. You slowly upgrade certain basic skills to very, very slowly become better. Like, they're all very much the same.
Can I just point out, I've just seen that one person in chat is writing over Half-Life 3 at the moment.
Over the fact that I said Half-Life is shit, and it's like, my life is a lie. That's what it is. That's what it is.
The fact that he believes Half-Life 3 is confirmed.
Realising that I'm right. Realising that I'm right.
So between a fight between you and Agent, I would put my money on Agent. So
guns and that.
If my fantasy does come true and they do announce Beyond Good and Evil 2, Agent's just going to take that as Half-Life 3 is.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Because you said it was on the same levels.
Yeah,
it kind of is. So I've got one other one for fantasy. I would like Far Cry Primal 2, but I want them to give it a couple of years. I don't want it to come out next year and have pretty much the same map. I want them to give it a couple of years, put some new mechanics in, like give it a proper sequel. The
fix game-breaking bugs if they do one as well, possibly.
I want the kind of jump from like Far Cry 1 to 3 kind of up, level of upgrading. So
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, or they at least made it a thing now of doing Far Cry spin-off games, because they did the DLC that was Far Cry Blood Dragon.
That was awesome.
Then they did the spin-off of Far Cry Primal. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried putting the Far Cry universe in different settings and different mechanics.
Like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, pretty much. But the difference between Assassin's Creed and Far Cry is that going into Primal, it made them use different mechanics rather than just shoot all the things. So it actually made it a different game. So
I would like a Far Cry Primal 2, but I just want them to give it a bit of time.
Yeah.
I can actually spend a bit of time working on it.
So you would just like them to announce that it's a thing?
Yeah.
That they're doing.
Yeah.
Bethesda, last one.
Okay, obvious one.
Yeah.
I want to see more of Dishonored 2.
Me too. That game's gonna be fucking awesome.
Please,
More
I love the first one so much.
More making rats eat people. That whole game was just rats for me. It was awesome.
I was loving the game all the way through, and then I found out the heart could see inside people and tell me about them, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go point the heart." No, I didn't realize this until about 3/4 of the way through the game.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh.
And then I was just going, "I'm gonna go point the heart at you, point the heart at you, point the heart at you."
Did you play the DLC?
I did not. I have not yet.
Yeah,
been
there's
the thing.
two DLCs, isn't there?
Yes, there's Brightmoor Witches and Knife of Dunwall, I think.
Yeah, that's it. I never played the DLCs.
Played Knife of Dunwall.
Yeah. What does it add to it, just for me, because I missed it?
When you played the original game all the way through, I think. Yeah. You met like the previous assassin, the one who killed the queen.
Oh yeah.
He is the Knife of Dunwall. So you play him, I think, before or leading up to the assassination.
Right.
I'm not entirely sure about the Brightmoor Witches one.
Fair enough.
It's just more Dishonored, so
Yeah.
I mean, that should be enough.
Should be good enough for you.
More people to stab.
Yeah.
Go
Yes.
have fun.
Stealth the first person, then just go on a murderous rampage when some random see you.
Yeah.
Attempt stealth,
What's
fail,
what's that old
kill
quote?
everyone anyway.
Sorry?
The best laid plans never survive meeting the enemy or something. You sit there. That was my playthrough of it as well. You sit there going, right, so this person's here, this person's here, this person's here. I'll sneak down and kill him. I'll send a rats over there. I'll do this, do that. The second you stealth the first person, it's like some random dude's like, oi, what are you doing? Okay, I'll just murder everyone. Bang, bang, bang.
Yes, Dishonored 2, please. I'd like to see a bit of gameplay for that, because it's supposed to come this year, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it get delayed to next year, to be perfectly honest, because we've seen so little of it. But
Yeah.
I'd still like to see some gameplay.
I-
Others?
I would like to see what I think is going to be there. More information on the Elder Scrolls card game.
On the card
Elder
game?
Scrolls-
Yeah, like I said, we had a
Elder
little bit
Scrolls
of
Legends or whatever it's called.
we had a little bit of discussion about this, because I think they wouldn't dedicate any time to a card game at a main.
I don't know, with the popularity of Hearthstone, and I know it's not exactly Hearthstone from what I've
Better
seen.
not be.
No, it looks like it does have enough mechanics to make it separate from Hearthstone. But because of the popularity of Hearthstone, they might rethink and go, oh, look, we've got this. I don't think they'll do a big time on it, but I think, like you said, it might be in like a sizzle reel or a splash trailer, like a compilation of all these are different games. You might get a flash of Elder Scrolls card game.
Yeah.
Legends, I think it's called.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls Legends, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Interested
looking forward
by
to
it.
Yeah. Any more for any more?
What are we doing, Bethesda? Maybe Evil Within 2.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't put it in fantasy because I'm not that asked about it, but I think we might see it.
Yeah.
Possibly.
It's possible.
Because, like I say, I was going through the list of Bethesda IP before the show. It's just not that much.
No.
to be perfectly honest. I expect we'll see some Fallout 4 DLC stuff.
Oh, you git. That was my other one. That they're gonna not really DLC stuff. I think they're gonna do a thing about, because they made such a big hoo-ha about we're going to allow modding for Fallout 4 on console, and it's been delayed and delayed and delayed. I think they're going to do an announcement about it, about allowing to mod it on the console.
Do you reckon it'll be like one of these sort of like kind of new trends for and it's available now? And like you turn on your PlayStation and it's there, because that seems to happen in like these indie games. Just say you turn on your PlayStation, it's on there now.
Yeah, the modding tools are ready now, and then like everyone
goes on and it crashes and doesn't work.
Exactly. Yeah, that's probably what will happen.
Yes. Yeah, I think there'll be like, as obviously they're doing a bunch of DLC packs. So I'm sure we'll see something about the next. But obviously it's Bethesda and Fallout and Elder Scrolls are all see something of them. And that's kind of leads on to what I kind of predict, is that I think we might, because they've got a whole conference and they haven't got much, maybe we'll see something completely new.
I've got that as a fantasy because I'd love to see one.
I have that as one of the fantasies.
I think they kind of have to, though, don't they? Because what could they show? What could they spend a 2-hour conference talking about? They can't spend it talking about just Dishonored and Fallout. Like,
my other fantasy, would be.
Sorry, go on.
My fantasy in their conference would be they'd announce the next Elder Scrolls,
right?
As in where it is.
As in, like,
I think I heard it might be in elsewhere. I may have heard that somewhere. I have nothing to back that up, though.
I don't know enough about Elder Scrolls lore to know what that means.
It's where the cat people are from.
Oh, the Khajiit.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Cats and the Overlords. This would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because like there's usually such a gap between their big games. I know Skyrim came out fucking ages ago, but they always do a huge gap between like their big games.
Fallout 4 was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I'm thinking it's at least 2 years.
But it depends if they have multiple teams working on multiple games.
Which they absolutely do.
Yeah, so they could have been working on a new Elder Scrolls game in tandem, but
Which absolutely have been.
But would that team have also been tied up in working on Elder Scrolls Online?
Well, that's ZeniMax, isn't it? That did ESO.
Yeah, I thought it was still to do with Bethesda, though.
Yeah, it's a Bethesda owned studio.
Oh, so they just shill it out to a subs.
Yeah. That's one of the issues that ESO had, weren't it? That wasn't made by the core Skyrim team.
Did you have Fallout 4 DLC as your obvious one? Because maybe they might announce like another DLC, because they've done like the second one.
Yeah, that's just come out, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's just come out.
Yeah, Far Harbor, isn't it called?
Far Harbor, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if we saw a new Elder Scrolls game, it would literally be like that original Skyrim trailer where it's like 5 seconds long, and it's coming.
Yeah,
and that'd be it for a year.
Yeah.
Just
say
until next E3.
Next year it'll be like, it's still coming.
A 10-second.
I say next E3 is where we would get Elder Scrolls news. Next year is where we'd get Elder Scrolls news.
Yeah,
like, in my opinion. But should we move on to fantasy? Because I kind of want to go on an Elder Scrolls tangent.
I kind of did move on to fantasy. Sorry.
Because new IP's already been mentioned, I've only got one fantasy, so I'll knock it out. They used to do the Call of Cthulhu games, and I don't know if I'm pretty sure when I mentioned this earlier, Liam hadn't played any of them. Had you played any of them, Albert? The old Call of Cthulhu?
No, I don't think I did.
Basically, sort of first-person horror detective-y type game where, in true Lovecraftian style, everything was sent to make you mental.
No, unless our Overlord Cthulhu has wiped the memory from my brain, I don't think I did.
Probably, but see, I don't think there's enough, especially on console. There's a few Lovecraftian type games on PC, but on console there's not enough Lovecraftian for my taste. I like the old
Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's not truly Lovecraftian though, is it? It's dark and depressing, but it doesn't try and send you insane. That's what makes a Lovecraftian game, is that it tries to fuck with you mentally. Doesn't it? Whereas Dark Souls is Dark
Just
Souls
fucks
is
with
goth.
you.
Yeah, Dark Souls is gothic. Dark Souls is dark and depressing. And
I think Bloodborne was a bit more Lovecraftian.
Bloodborne was definitely more Lovecraftian because it had a weird sort of the aesthetic of it. But it's games like Call of Cthulhu, like I think we've mentioned it before, the old GameCube game, Eternal Darkness. That was the true Lovecraftian game, because it didn't just fuck with your character mentally, it fucked with you mentally by making you think your whole console had crashed. And do you know about Eternal Darkness, Albert?
No, go on.
Basically, as your character went more and more insane, random shit started happening on the screen. So either your controls would reverse, bugs would start crawling over the screen, you'd get a blue screen of death saying that your console had fucking died.
Your memory card had wiped and shit like that.
Yeah, you'd lost all your memory card status and things like that. It really screwed your head.
This sounds fucking intense.
Yeah, you should see if you could get a copy of it.
I still hold it as one of my favourite GameCube games of all time, just because you never knew what the hell was going on. It was like...
You ever played Metal Gear 1? It's like the Psycho Mantis fight.
Yeah,
but a game of it.
It's called Eternal Darkness. It was basically the Psycho Mantis fight for the entire game. Like, it constantly screwed with you. Going back and playing it now, the graphics are a bit shit because it was one of the, I think it was one of the GameCube launch titles.
And it was on GameCube, so
yeah,
and it was GameCube.
Yeah, but mechanically and that whole mindfuckery just made it amazing. It was quite hard as well, if I remember.
Yeah, but that's something we touched on before, like with. It's probably because we were quite young when we played.
Yeah. As someone in chat just pointed out, one of the things that could happen if your character's sanity meter went completely to 0 was you could walk into the next room and you'd suddenly get a splash screen on the screen saying Eternal Darkness 2 is coming soon. Yeah. It was complete mindfuckery. It was amazing.
Not like Nintendo at all, or a publisher game like that. Really isn't.
No.
It's so out of their wheelhouse of that kind of game.
Like a new Call of Cthulhu from Bethesda or some kind of Lovecraftian game from anyone, please.
Anything else from either of you, fantasy-wise?
Nope, we already kind of went over mine.
I'm going to put my last one as the one that'll piss everyone off, so we'll do that very last.
Okay.
I'd like Oblivion re-release, please. We're not going to get a new Elder Scrolls game for a while. I'd like them to bring out the best one. HD, mod support,
just a shinier one.
Yeah, bring it out on PS4, give us mods, so I can have my my crabs with monocles and things. I need all of that. So just re-release Oblivion, please, because as much as it is the best Elder Scrolls, and I will fight anyone who says it isn't.
If anyone argues that Skyrim is better, I'm sorry. The start of Oblivion had Patrick Stewart talking to you while you were in a prison.
Yes,
that's it. That's all you need.
Yep,
that is a good selling point.
But it's just fucking yes. But like obviously, it's quite old now. It's what, like 10 years old now.
Yeah.
Something like 10, 11 years old, and it's looking a bit ropey, so just a little bit of a if
Bethesda were going into the remastered versions, that would be a good one to start with.
Yeah,
correct.
Just give it a nice polish.
Yep. Yes, please. Please, thanks. And shall we go to my last one?
Go on.
Because I know I'll piss Albert off as well. I'd really like a good Fallout game.
Yeah.
I say that with absolute sincerity, and I'm not saying it to be all flamery and that. I genuinely, Fallout 4 was one of the biggest disappointments ever.
3 was brilliant.
I will probably make Albert hate me right now, but I have never been able to get into a Fallout game yet.
New Vegas is the one to play, because New Vegas was good.
I've tried.
You're doing it wrong.
You're
doing it wrong. Yeah.
How am I doing it wrong in an open world game?
You're doing open wrong.
Yeah.
I can't.
There must be something wrong with you. I'm sorry.
I know it's post-apocalyptic. I've had this argument before, and I even know this argument sounds stupid. But I know it's post-apocalyptic, but I don't like how empty everything is. Like, you give me a gigantic map where most of it has nothing in it.
There are mods for that, though.
You
can fix it.
Yeah, but there should already be things in that open world. You shouldn't have to rely on a mod to fix it.
This is the Dark Souls 1 on PC argument. You shouldn't have to rely on a mod for it to be playable.
It is playable. It's very playable.
Yeah, it's playable. It's just dull. There's nothing. Sorry, I don't find anything interesting walking for 20 minutes to get to the next town. Like, it doesn't.
There is fast travel.
You have to discover that place first.
You have to get to the place first, though. So it's not fast travel. It's waste my time and make me bored for 20, 25 minutes, and then I can fast travel to somewhere I've already been. Whoop-de-doo.
I am fully on. Like, I think New Vegas was good, but I didn't like Fallout 3 particularly. It was distinctly average, especially after how good Oblivion was. And Fallout 4 was just a mess of a game. It was densely filled with shit mechanics and half-baked ideas. The whole settlement, crafting system was fucking stupid. The settlement building system was stupid. The storyline, the main storyline, it was stupid. Most of the side quests were dull and uninteresting. It was just a poorly made game, and like people have been waiting for Fallout 4 for so long. I honestly feel like people were just really trying to tell themselves that they were having fun with it.
People were so desperate for a new Fallout 4 that even though it was shit, they couldn't come to terms with that fact and was like, no, well, it's Fallout. It must be.
Because like there was titheads like Andy who pre-ordered the Pip-Boy edition and they're like, well, fuck, I got it now. I must love it.
Yeah, I've spent all that money when I won't spend five quid on Undertale.
What the fuck?
Some people are just beyond help.
Exactly. So you're.
Yeah, you are.
So you're.
I'm glad-
You are. Oh, no, not having it.
Right? Can I just say, people should mark down on the calendar because me and Lim are actually agreeing on something.
Yeah.
Like,
Although I will say, like, if you want to get into, like, the only Fallout I've really enjoyed was New Vegas. I enjoyed the story in New Vegas. I enjoyed the world a lot more.
I did the little I played of it. I did enjoy the world a lot more. I can't stand, like, this is what, like you said, they seemed crap compared to Oblivion. In Oblivion, yeah, you have to walk ages to get to the next place, but on that walk you can find about 10 caves, 20 hidden bits of treasure, random people walking about. There was stuff to do to occupy
All of
your
the time. The amount of times, like, you would say, right, I've got to get to this city to do this mission, and then 10 hours later, it's like, fuck, I've just done like 30 side quests because I just got distracted by this thing, then this thing, then this thing. Like, because you say, oh, I found this vampire cavern. I'm going to go stab all the vampires. Oh, cool. Then I found this sort of side quest. I've talked to this random dude. Oh, these, like, bandits are trying to fuck me up. I'm just going to wreck them. And, like, do you know what I mean? You get all of this stuff. Whereas Fallout 4, you just wander and for about 10 minutes. Oh, look, there's a death claw. That's exciting. I've seen about 30 of those. Wow.
There's a fair bit more to it.
The mechanics they've added are shit ones, though. This is the problem. Things like the settlement building it's time wasting.
I like the settlement building.
You want that? Why do you not play City Skylines?
No.
It's just I don't like. Everyone likes what they like, but I just that game just no. So I'd like my fantasy pick from Bethesda is a good Fallout game.
Tot is what I have to say to you.
And I'm going to edit that so it makes it sound like you said all of that. Yeah, that's what we're going to end it on. The agreement from all three of the members of this show that Fallout is shit. I mean, Fallout 3 and 4